Well, Valve has done it. They have made the announcement for the Steam Machine. Woke up this morning to the news. Very interesting looking, very exciting, and shockingly, it's coming in 2026. Now, not only did they announce the new Steam Machine, but they did also announce the Steam Controller, as well as something called a Steam Frame, which is like a VR headset kind of a thing. Looks pretty good. Really excited about it. I will say that the only thing that's really grabbed my attention right now is the Steam Machine. Was looking at the Steam Controller. It looks interesting. It looks like they just cut the screen off of a Steam Deck and just gave you that, which is fine. Not too sold on that. I'm probably going to pass on that. Plus, if the Steam Machine is anything like the Steam Deck, it's completely compatible with all modern controllers, including the DualSense, which is my primary controller right now for the Steam Deck. So I'm probably going to skip the Steam controller. Looks great, interesting design. I'd like to see some hands-on reviews of that, get it in some people's hands, and then we can kind of talk about it. The Steam Frame looks interesting. Now, I'm not completely sold on VR headsets now or probably ever. That's just not my thing. They're super expensive. They don't seem to do that much, and they kind of seem like a fad. I don't think the technology is there yet. It might be there in 20 years. Right now, it's just not, and frankly, I just don't really care. I'm not that intense of a gamer for that kind of stuff. What I'm really here for is the Steam Machine. This thing looks great. It's a cube, which kind of gives me GameCube vibes. It's got your whole Steam library in one place, connects to Steam. It's a tiny little guy. I'm looking at some of the website stuff right here. They say it's going to have 4K gaming at 60 frames a second, which I wish they gave us a little bit more information about that. So I personally do not care about 4K. I just don't. I want 1080p at like 120 frames. That's what I want. Hopefully those will be some options, and maybe they're just pushing the 4K to the front because that's an eye-grabbing kind of a thing. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get more information about that later on. It's going to come in two available storage sizes, the 512 gigabyte, which is probably the one that I would get, and the 2 terabyte, but it does come with expandable storage via a micro SD slot right in the front of the console, which is awesome. I love that we can just upgrade that. It's going to have Bluetooth. It is going to have an Ethernet port on the back. And the coolest thing that I love about it, at least for my setup currently, is that there is no power brick. It just plugs right into the wall. They are heavily showing off this LED strip. I don't know why that's getting so much attention. They haven't shown it do anything kind of cool yet. Hopefully, maybe in the future, they'll give us some demonstrations of why do we care about an LED strip. I mean, LED strip kind of feels kind of standard at this point, so I don't really know why we care about that, but whatever. They are going to have a verified system, very similar to the Steam Deck verified, which is great, except for the fact that the verified symbol that they're showing here looks the exact same. So how am I going to know if it's verified for the deck, but not the machine? Or for the machine, but not the deck? That's kind of weird. I don't really know how we're going to be able to tell the difference between those verified things, because it's just a green little circle with a check mark. I do love that it is powered by SteamOS. I love SteamOS. I love Linux. I hate Microsoft. I hate Windows. I don't want to use any Windows PC. Honestly, that is why I do not have a PC right now, is because I do not want to use Windows. I cannot. I'm just done. I've used it my whole life. I've always hated it. I switched to Mac recently. Yes, Mac has its own problems, but I'm never going back to Windows. It's just never going to happen. You're never going to bring me back. If I go back, I want to get into Linux. Linux would probably be where I would go, which is what's running here on this Steam Machine. So for me, it's perfect. It's exactly what I would want. The setup of this, or the style of it, looks really interesting. The faceplate looks like it comes off and you can either customize and make your own, or they're going to sell third parties. I don't know what they're going to do with this, but they were kind of showing that you can change the front panel of this. So it's like magnetic. You can take it off. You can decorate it however you want. 3D print stuff on it. I don't know. It's going to be a highly customizable front plate, which is interesting. I'll probably do nothing with that. But the tech specs, from everything I've seen people saying, it looks okay. It's not great. It's not going to break the bank, but that's probably because they want to keep it affordable. The price has not been announced. Neither has the release date. It just says early 2026, which is surprising. That's pretty soon to be launching a console and have no price, no official date. Because early to me implies Q1, right? That's going to be January, February, or March. And we don't know even a month that it's coming out. But overall, I'm excited about this announcement. I think that this is great. I need to see more hands-on for this, and this needs to get out into the wild before I buy it. I want to see some hands-on reviews from not just people like IGN and GameSpot, but I want to see actual real people that have bought this on their own, tear it down, put it back together. How does it look? Are there any fatal flaws in this? Is this going to like blow up and catch fire if you try to run, Red Dead Redemption 2 or like, GTA 6? Like, is this a viable plug and play machine? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I can access my Steam library. It's plug and play. I don't have to do too much crazy work with it, but it is customizable if I decide to go that route. Right now, my life is a little too busy. When I sit down to play a video game, that's probably why I like my Switch 2 so much. I just want to turn it on and go. I don't want to wait for a lot of downloading. I don't want to have to like optimize drivers. I don't want to have to really customize and make. I've got a full-time job. I've got a family. Like, I got too much to do. So when I've got a free 30 minutes, I want to spend that playing the game. I don't want to spend it setting everything up. And this Steam machine looks like I can use my Steam library, and I can even continue my Steam library and buy newer games and still enjoy them in that ecosystem. The problem that I'm having right now is that I have my Steam Deck hooked up to my monitor in my little office area. And that's how I'm primarily playing my Steam library now, through the Steam Deck. So if the Steam Deck can't run it, I don't buy those games on Steam. I usually have to decide, well, do I really want to buy those games? Because if so, I've got to buy them for my PS5. And I'm trying to phase out PlayStation. I'm trying to be less dependent on them, because next generation, I'm not going to probably buy a PlayStation. I'm not going to buy an Xbox. I kind of want to go all into Steam. And I've been hoping that I wasn't going to have to build a PC, and thanks to the Steam machine, it's looking like I'm probably not going to have to do that. The only concern that I have is, what is the longevity of this machine? Are they going to do some kind of thing where it's like, well, it's $400, but it's really only going to play the newest games for the first 3 to 4 years, and then you're going to need to get 2.0 later down the line? How long is this going to be viable? I was listening to a interview with an IGN reporter, which, take that with a grain of salt. Who knows how truthful they are. But they were saying that they tested out, what did they say? They tested out 2 games. They tested out Metal Gear Solid Delta, and they tested out Silent Hill F. Both 2 games that came out this year. Very modern titles. They said that Silent Hill F needed a little bit of optimizing. They kind of needed to tweak some settings, but eventually they got it working okay. But they said that Metal Gear ran flawlessly, totally fine, totally perfect, and that is an Unreal Engine 5 title. So one of my benchmarks and one of my expectations is that Unreal 5 should run flawlessly on this console. If you're going to launch this console, if it's going to be a new addition to the living room, this needs to run Unreal Engine 5 flawlessly, right? We can't have anything where it's like, well, it runs PS4 games just fine, and it runs older games just fine, but some of the new games are 50-50. Because that's kind of how the Steam Deck was. When I got my Steam Deck, it was great, and some games it ran perfect. Like Resident Evil 4, the remake that just came out, that runs great. It's clearly optimized. Somebody from Capcom or somebody from somewhere sat down and really put some effort into getting it to run well. But there have been some newer titles, like I tried playing, what was that game called? Helldivers 2. I bought Helldivers 2 for Steam because I was like, oh, people say it runs fine on the Steam Deck. I want to buy that game, but I want to play it on Steam. I'll buy it for the Steam Deck. It did not run. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to get a refund for this because this runs like crap. So everything right now is kind of hit or miss with the Steam Deck. Granted, that is a portable device. This is a more permanent fixture. This doesn't have a screen. This doesn't have to do anything else. All this has to do is just have power. Give me power. And we will be fine. Overall, very excited about this. I'm optimistic. Like I said, I want to see the reviews of this. If people get their hands on this and they say that this is great, this is a perfect budget entry. It's not going to obviously take you to the moon and back. It's not the most powerful thing. And obviously a $2,000 PC setup would be better. But for those of you that are looking to play the most kind of average, normal games, you don't care about crazy settings, you just want to have a good experience, even if it's at, 60 frames, this is perfect for you. And it's like, well, that's me. I don't need 4K, 120 frames or nothing. I don't care about that. Honestly, I'll take 1080, 120. 1080, 120 is all I need. That's all I want. So if it can do that for most titles, then this, honestly, is the future for me in gaming. Because Steam has done a great job so far with like cloud saves and moving saves around. So I've been playing Hollow Knight Silksong off and on this year since it's come out. It's really fun. I've been enjoying it. But what's even better about it is that Team Cherry made a PC version, like a Microsoft version, a Mac version, and a Linux version. And all of that's available when you buy the Steam version of it. So there have been times when I've been playing it on the Steam Deck hooked up to the monitor, blown up all the way. I think it's 133 frames. Looks beautiful, looks great. But I'm going to go on a trip. And I bring my laptop with me. My laptop is a MacBook Pro. And I've got it downloaded onto there, and I just play it right where I left off. I don't have to take the Steam Deck with me. I don't have to take any extra hardware. I'm already taking my laptop for work. I can just play it off the laptop. Like, that is what I want. That is perfect. Let me play my games where I want to, how I want to play them. If I want to play them at home in a nice premiere kind of atmosphere, I can do that. Or if I want to play them on the MacBook, let me do that. Or if I want to take the Steam Deck, give me those options, right? Because right now, that's what Microsoft and PlayStation kind of aren't doing. I know that Xbox is trying to lean into that whole, what is an Xbox? An Xbox could be a phone, or it could be a tablet, or it could be this. They haven't fully implemented that the way Steam already sort of has, and is going to continue to do when these extra peripherals come out. So right now, Steam seems to be run by people that are still passionate about gaming first, that care about gaming, that love the community, that love the culture, that love the customer, that love the gamer, because they are one of us. What would I want to buy? What would I want to sell to my family, right? That's sort of their mantra. Microsoft doesn't care about that. They're like a faceless corporation that seems to just say, well, how do we keep the longevity? Like, how do we keep making money? How do we keep going? I just don't feel the passion or the love from them. Every single time I watch a showcase from them, they just look like a bunch of corporate heads. Like, it's like, what game are they actually going home and playing? Phil Spencer might actually play, but a few of those other executives that they have on that showcase, it's like, dude, you don't play any games. You spend your time in coffee shops and gossiping with people, and you're living that San Francisco or that Seattle kind of, Pac Northwest life. Like, you're not really interested in this stuff. Like, not the way Gabe Newell is and those kind of guys. Like, the people up there at Steam really feel like old school PC gamers. The way Microsoft feels like they're just trying to sell you Windows. I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that. There could be a majority of people that care about gaming at Xbox, but from my perspective, a casual, it certainly doesn't feel that way. I don't feel that. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one that does, because I don't know. I just heard recently that they're taking Xboxes out of Target and you can't really buy them on Amazon anymore. So next year, where are you going to even be able to buy an Xbox? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by just crapping on Xbox. But it's frustrating. I don't like what they're doing. Anyway, That is the biggest problem that I can see right now with the Steam Machine, is that the Steam Machine has to be bought from Steam. That is kind of a bummer. I wish that they would do a partnership with like Target or Best Buy. Best Buy would probably be the best person. Like put a kiosk in a Best Buy and say, hey, this is the Steam Machine. This is how we do this. This is your PC library. This is how you kind of move things around. Get your hands on it, because right now the only way to get your hands on it is to go to Steam's website, order it from them, completely buy it blind, show up at your house, and just hope it works. That's not the way you sell game consoles. You've got to put it in the hands of the people somewhere, somehow. And hopefully, they will think about that. They will expand that, because since E3 is dead and there's no show floor anymore, you really have to seek out this Steam Machine, which is the weirdest marketing style from them. But anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today with these 3 announcements. Steam Machine's the only one I'm really looking forward to. The controller looks fine, but I'll probably pass. Same with the VR headset. You can keep that. But that Steam Machine, baby, that's exactly what I wanted. Very excited to see the reviews for it. I'm going to be keeping up with this story. Hopefully you will too. But anyway, what do you think of this? Is this stupid? Is this dumb? Should we stay loyal to PlayStation and Xbox and just ride out that console wave and just forget about it and just, stick with the consoles and leave PC behind? What do you think? Drop a comment down below. And as always, take care of each other out there.